For more on the funding vote and the fallout, we are joined by Niall Stanage, White House columnist with our partner, The Hill. Niall, thanks so much for being here.
Good to be with you, Natasha.
So we just heard a little bit from Congressman Burchett. I'm talking about what he wants in the next budget plan. Do you feel that these goals are realistic? We're going to be coming right up against Thanksgiving break, as he was mentioning.
The difficulty for Congressman Burchett and for any other Republican member of the House is the Democrats have control of the Senate. That, by its very nature, changes what is achievable from a Republican perspective or a Conservative perspective. And so I think for members of the Republican Party, they are stuck between competing pressures in a way, between what they want and what is achievable, and how do you best go about trying to get those things.
You know, and Congressman Matt Gaetz today saying that he will move to oust Speaker McCarthy from his role. Let's listen together to Gaetz explaining his reasoning there, and we also have McCarthy's response.
I do intend to file a motion to vacate against Speaker McCarthy this week. I think we need to rip off the Band-Aid. I think we need to move on with new leadership that can be trustworthy.
So be it. Bring it on. Let's get over with it, and let's start governing. If he's upset because he tried to push us in a shutdown, and I made sure government didn't shut down, then let's have that fight.
Okay, help us break through the noise here, Niall. Do you see, first of all, that Gaetz has enough votes to remove McCarthy?
He certainly has enough votes, it would appear, to cause Kevin McCarthy serious trouble. To make a very long story short, because a lot of this gets into procedural stuff, in a motion to vacate, Kevin McCarthy would need a majority of those voting, which if everyone votes is 218 votes. Now, he only has a handful more than that. If Matt Gaetz can marshal a dozen or 24, some people think, against him, then McCarthy would have to depend upon Democrats. If he does that, it obviously leaves him in a weakened position. We don't know if Democrats would save him in that scenario, but this is a very serious crisis for Speaker McCarthy. There's no question about that.
Yeah. Will this Republican infighting damage the public's trust in their ability to pass another funding bill in 45 days?
I think it's broader than a funding bill, actually. I think that the voting public tends not to like parties that suffer from disunity. And that's because voters, at least those voters who are not dogmatically one side or the other, think, well, if a party can't handle its own business, how does it then handle the nation's business? That has been a problem for parties. You know, it was a problem for Democrats in the 80s, for example. It is now a problem for the Republicans because in the House in particular, their conference is just so fractured and fractious.
Yeah, and I do want to just hit one more time these headlines that we are seeing. Yesterday, Congressman Jamal Bowman saying that he pulled a fire alarm in a House office building on accident. He says that he thought it would open the door rather than actually cause a fire alarm to go off. And you know, some Republicans are not buying this explanation. They are calling for him to be charged akin to the January 6th defendants. What is your take on this, Niall?
I think there's two separate parts to it, Natasha. I think if Congressman Bowman is found to have interfered with an official proceeding, that's one thing, and he should face consequences as any private citizen would. I think the comparison to January the 6th is rather absurd, to be perfectly candid. January the 6th was an attempt to overturn a legitimate election, to incinerate the peaceful balance of power, and to change that by force, by a riot. I don't see that anything that Congressman Bowman did was comparable with that.
Okay. Niall Stanage, always appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.